What's going on, everybody? Just going to just kind of piggyback off of the last video I made. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. Pretty good. Talk about a few articles and what's really behind this food shortage we're going through, and definitely touch on Agenda 2030. So go ahead and check that out. Now, today I'm going to be talking about an interesting article that the New York Times put out this past Saturday, and it involves more eating. That's what I mean when I'm piggybacking off the last video that I did, because I was speaking about food. This article is about cannibalism and the desire to eat other people. So the article starts off, promoting books and movies. I'm not going to read all of it. If you would like to read it, you can go ahead and subscribe to the New York Times and read this in full. I really want to get into the end of the article, and this part of the article is called The Unthinkable. The best way to, in my opinion, get through to people is through literature and reading, which is why I feel like newspapers and articles are so popular. They've been around for the longest because reading really gets through to the human mind. That's why I'm really careful when I read. But let's go over this article here. It says the unthinkable as to what may be fueling the desire for cannibalism stories today. Miss Lyle, the Yellow Jackets co-creator, said, "I think that we're obviously in a very strange moment." She listed the pandemic, climate change, school shootings, and years of political cacophony as possible factors. "I feel like the unthinkable has become the thinkable," Miss Lyle says, and cannibalism is very much squarely in that category of the unthinkable. According to Miss Summers, cannibalism is always symbolic. For her novel's protagonist, eating human flesh can be seen as a way of holding on to a relationship that ended. Remember what I said earlier about putting these things into books and getting into the human mind through literature? Like I said, this article is promoting literature, books, movies about cannibalism. It's a big parade for cannibalism, but how many, I look at it like a study group. If there's 100 people in the room and each of them read these books and each of them watch these movies about cannibalism, which is an old thing, this is nothing new, how many of those 100 people in this study group that read these novels or watch these movies are going to actually take interest? I would think a good amount. I'm just making a wise assumption here, at least 30%. And these are people from different backgrounds, different age groups, races, neighborhoods, whatever. But just think about, that small study group and then putting it out in this big world. How many people this is going to actually attract? This is, it's like you're kind of like you're putting something on their taste buds, or you're trying to ignite this group of people that have this, you're trying to, it's like the article is trying to communicate with people who are interested in this stuff and divide people who are not interested in this stuff. Okay. It's all about, I've been thinking about doing a video on, no, I'm not going to, I think I'm just going to do it. I'm going to surprise you. But anyway, just think about that group, and a good amount of people, most people would probably be like, heck no. But then there are those people, those special ones that'll be like, what, let me try this. Those triers, okay? But again, piggybacking off the last video I put out with, the food shortages and everything, and for somehow it just seems like, they are putting these things in front of you for you to kind of start thinking about it. It's unthinkable. So let's start thinking about eating people. It gets better. It says here, let's see. Here we go. For her novel's protagonist, eating human flesh can be seen as a way of holding on to a relationship that ended. Really? For Miss Summers herself, the plot of A Certain Hunger can't be uncoupled. A Certain Hunger can't be uncoupled. From my own personal experience, she says, from my own personal experiences with disordered eating, with the tamping down of feminine appetites, the way the media chews up and spits out writers, bougie consumption and bougie lady consumption. More generally, Miss Summers thinks that the recent spate of cannibalistic plots could also be commentaries on capitalism. Cannibalism is about consumption, and it's about burning up from the inside in order to exist. Burnout is essentially over-consuming yourself, your energy, your own will to survive, your sleep schedule. I'm reading this for the first time, and I think it's complete. Again, I'm just, with the other article, who is writing this stuff? Who in the heck is writing these things? It's like a bunch of jumbled, blended up trash. I'm just going to go with the quotes here. She goes, I had to think about what part of the body would be an interesting place to start and how it would feel to hold someone's severed hand in yours. Okay, this is what, again, it's like they call it unthinkable, and then they start, putting this crap. It's all jumbled up nonsense, and then you read a couple of quotes that actually make sense. I really can't understand what the intention is behind this writing here, but it's crap. They need to get some new writers. This is one of the most astounding newspapers, and they want you to pay $1 a week to read this garbage. Then she says the prop team on Yellow Jackets had a similarly unnerving task in determining what to use as a faux human flesh in the show's pilot episode. Should it be the lab-grown human steak made from stem cells that spurred outrage at a London museum, the animal-free chicken, beef, salmon, and dairy substitutes that some companies are creating using similar technology? Basically, this article was a waste of my time, but the point is that they're implanting, and using it as like shock value. It's like everybody's talking about it, and the whole key is eating people. And like, what are they? And then there was another article, I want to say in the New York Post, how to make your own casket at home. It's just these stupid things that are surrounding death, and it's like, the thing with the PSA and, the nuclear. What is going on? And is this like a big prank? Like what